What is up, yo? It's your boy Aniki coming at you for the first time this month. Sorry about that. With My Hero Academia double chapter live reaction. We're gonna cover two chapters today. Chapters 339 and 340. I know some of y'all been waiting. Let's see. Might take a little while longer for people to get in here, like usual. Let's see. That up there right now. You're in the Discord, you just got that alert. Happy New Year, Tanisha Greer. Hey, J. Michael Holmes. Yep. We back. Sorry, I realize it's not cool to like chants or reference chants anymore. Lamar Arrington. See, all right, my people back. We're doing two chapters today because I did not read the last one yet. I've literally not read any of the My Hero chapters this year. I don't know how I've managed to avoid any spoilers. Hey, Cameron Bailey, thank you. Hey, Tiger. So, Spectral, Dynamite, and Thomas. Whew. Alves. See, the people here. MK the baby. Now, because you guys are already here and I'm doing two chapters, I'm going to start with 339 right now because I'm covering two chapters. So we can do that. We can do what we want. This is our show. All right. Let's hop right into it. The story of how we all became heroes, part 2. And you see, we got May for the opening cover, chapter 339. She's got goggles, like basically an improvised UA uniform with a bunch of extra protective gear on it to make sure she doesn't kill herself. Respect it. How's it hanging? And what can I do for you two? My danger system didn't activate. I was caught off guard, caught unawares by the bosom. Hatsume, we have come to you today to request costume repairs. Why not put in a request to the item agency like usual? The agencies are, well, there's been disruption to the typical exchange of goods and services these days. We now need to rely on the support course. You don't say. Well, that makes sense. Huh? Hey, all right. Happy New Year to you all, by the way. You don't say. Well, don't tell me. Wow, is she clueless about the state of the world? And then we see Power Loader coming out all coughing. Hatsume, I swear, what is it with you and explosions? Costume repairs? Come on in. It's looking kind of fancy. Things are a bit different in here. I'm in charge of R&D for the UA barrier. Maintenance too. Once each part is up and running. Let's see. Oh, mid-gauntlets, the latest in compression tech. These were prototypes from overseas, so I can't restock. You think you could fix them up for me? Is this a rush job? You bet it is. No can do, sorry. With that level of damage, I need to remake them basically from scratch, and we lack the condinium for the compression mechanism. So no, can do. Walking away at the speed of nope. Hatsume, what about my armor? Without the specs? Spec docs? No can do. How frank? Stop, don't sweat it. We can make what you need here. We're in Hatsume's class. Thank you, we're in your debt. How curious though. Hatsume takes to tinkering like a fish to water. So I assumed she would offer us aid. What are you working on? The evac shelter blocks, they're blasting off, cool. All right, so we finally got that, at least some visual of this. So this is just kind of building up towards that, you know, eventually getting to see the UA center actually like separate and take off and do all that other stuff. You know, we would all hope that we wouldn't get to have that brought up and then get absolutely nothing out of it. So this is just us kind of heading down there. So nobody can say we jumped the shark when we finally get there. They're blasting off, cool. I enlisted Hatsume to help improve our defenses. She's busy concocting new mechanisms in case of mass evacuation. Like I alluded to before, her zeal and inventive mind put her in a league of her own. Even a perfect A+ idea could drop to an A- in a flash. When I think of a new baby, I got to raise it right. That's some wisdom for me here. Hatame's words of wisdom. I get it. No wonder you're paying no mind to the outside world. You're laser focused on your beloved inventions. You're pretty amazing, Hatsume. Don't be dense, Midoriya. As dense as high density polyethylene. Excuse me, I don't get it. Of course, I'm aware of the nasty predicament you heroes are facing out there. We may not be fighters, but just like how you guys are trying every trick in the book to protect as many people as you possible, we're tackling it in our own way. Inventing stuff is how the support course does heroics. Oh. Vegapunk, we can talk about that later too, because I'm doing a double chapter review for One Piece later. Let's see. No. Wow, Hatsune. I couldn't replicate them exactly. Wow, she already threw out a hybrid. My babies might not be the latest and greatest, but please put them to work for you. A combination of the mid gauntlets and his Air Force gloves. Gloves included, neat. Did your left hand alone just whip these up? Thanks so much. And this is no perfect replica of your armor, Ida, but enjoy. Hooray, thank you. We were just about to take their measurements. Please give your Hero Course pals a message. Let's win this. That didn't take long, you two. Good thing we're all prepared and prepped and ready. Just in time then, thank goodness. Faces ain't supposed to stick that way, yeah? I've heard about what a Class A has been through, but sadly we can't afford to waste a single day at this point. Our best case scenario is still finding and mopping up the Liberation Front and the League of Villains as soon as possible. That will solve this whole mess, so we're not abandoning the original plan altogether. And standing around all dazed and confused is just playing into our enemy's hands. Aoyama. And see, what I like about this is that every single time lately, somebody is expressing doubt in this story from Class 1A. Every time it is Mina, a character that normally would constantly be a source of optimism. Ooh, that Aoyama will come back to us. Assuming he ain't whammed by some kind of curse, I think it'll be fine because he has always had his sights set on the man he wants to be more than any of us. Okay, people, let's move Midoriya at the center of this operation. Class 1. Was that the line? Okay, I did see people being like, why would Shoto know what he's talking about? But like, his name is I Cannot Stop Twinkling. He's always drawing attention. He's always trying to put on the act of being the hero that everybody loves and cares for. He's always been trying to chase this image of being a good hero. It's kind of obvious. And especially when you factor in and hear about what he did at like provisional license exam, it's obvious he's always been trying really hard to stand out as a hero. And like, that's kind of what he's always been aiming towards and striving for, is being a hero and helping out. And so, yeah, I don't know, kind of seems like somebody as serious as Shoto would be able to recognize that zeal and dedication, even if it manifested in a different way for somebody else. Just saying. Class 1A of, all right, okay, people, let's move. Midoriya's at the center of this operation. Class 1A of UA's Hero Corps Search Squad assembled. Meanwhile, in the Kansai region. Anyone hurt, Sun Eater? Neji. And then so we see that we got Nijire, Fat Gum on the job with Sun Eater. Thank y'all so much. Hard to believe those dang villains started tossing their weight around out here in the boonies. Well, you folks can rest easy now. We'll get you on over to Shiketsu High. It's a real sturdy fortress, as solid as UA even. Thank you, young man. Can you at least show us your face? Nope, no thanks. Just Sun Eater being shy. But fewer people means much less intel. We're in a tight spot. You know what that means. Gone are the days of slinging sneak attacks and raids at each other. Now it's the opposite. Both sides are pulling out all the stops, gearing up for a true blue and all-out war on every front. So about our plan B, let's review the key info about the other battle that could decide it all. Uh-oh. Another battle. At this moment, I'd like to take an intermission to say, I hope you've all been well. Ice Cube and Lil Jon go to church, Tyler. That's an idea. Let's see, KJ, y'all believe Aoyama has a death flag now? I mean, I already said that the way Sukauchi was acting and just in general by him being a traitor and all these other things that like we keep coming talking about different ways that, oh, he could, die. They're treating him with such hostility. It would be, it seems almost too like optimistic for Aoyama to just completely safely get away with going back to a police station or anything like that. So, I want the kid to live, actually. I'm not one of those people who was like, what? How dare Deku not resent and hate a child born quirkless that was blackmailed by All For One? This is ridiculous. Like, I wasn't one of those dudes. So, and I'm not going to pretend. So, hey, Brenda de la Cruz. All right. Now, let me get into chapter 340. And we start off with Central Hospital. To collaborate in secret with this key facility, yet, several police stations have moved their base of operations nearby. League of Villains, Paranormal Liberation Front, Counterforce HQ. We're awaiting Aoyama's exam results. This business with Aoyama means we'll be forced to take decisive action all at once. We've deemed each of you here to be trustworthy based on certain factors regarding your situations and actions. So we're ready to move ahead with this conversation. Endeavor, Genist, and the other big heroes are in command out in the field at the moment. And since this is a classified meeting and to be thrown together in a hurry, we're keeping our circle nice and small, safety first and all. Taking every precaution, you got ragdolled, but still, come on. I sure wish Ryuko and the gang could be here, meow. Sorry about that. It's not like we doubt their loyalty at all, so we get confirmation that Pixie Bob's name is Ryuko. Meow, meow. They're out there using my search quirk for evil, meow. So I'm here to help however I can. Let's hear. All right. All Might busting out chalk. Look at him, not fumbling mid-teaching like he used to. Let's see. College starting back for Thomas. Hori loves short hair woman. They had 4 months of prep time and failed. Y'all expect me to believe a last-minute plan would finally get them this victory, even though the heroes failed multiple times throughout the series? No. All right. No Google, I do not want to change my name, came through and said, I wish I could have sent this earlier, but I hope everyone had a good holiday season. I meant to do some stuff earlier this year and just time has not been on my side. And I'm sorry about that, guys. Y'all deserve better. For real. So yeah. The key point to this plan, whether we're talking about plan A or B, what we have to do, no matter what, is split them up. So this already puts them in an extremely dangerous situation because while the battle versus Shigaraki, you have some hope because they'll be flipping between the two. We don't know if All For One has upgraded any of his gear yet, if he's finally managed to find somebody to make him an old Darth Vader mask like he used to have. We don't know exactly where all this stuff is going as far as that goes. So even if you split them up, there's going to be a stronger party and a weaker party. And depending on who's in which one and what quirks these characters have will determine a lot of like what gets to be effective or ineffective. Based on the data recorded during the Star and Stripes battle, Tomura Shigaraki is now far more powerful than even All For One. And everyone who witnessed the fight in Kamino has a decent idea of All For One's strength. Also, they have that mind melt they exploited when attacking Tartarus. Well, they we already proved that they were actually sending signals to each other, but all right. This goes beyond just the communication via radio waves, but it's not clear to what extent they actually share thoughts with each other. Should they attack together, we have no hope of victory. And you see, we get all the flashbacks to Tartarus, Sansa, so basically All Might being like, they have some kind of connection because he can feel feelings, but he doesn't realize that they don't actually communicate with each other telepathically. Then why didn't they double team the Star? She could have spoken his name All for One, meaning New Order's rules would have worked on him, I think. To win this war, we need to get those two at least 10 kilometers apart. That's the bare minimum requirement. Of course, they'll do everything they can to make sure that that won't happen. That's right, Sukauchi. That far-spreading, all-consuming fire and the terror it instills. Wait, what? Am I missing a page? Or no, he's just slapping the Dobby piece on and talking about Dobby too now. It's a threat we became aware of, though, the attack on its training camp. Yes, we'll be stonewalled so long as Dobby joins their vanguard. So splitting up All for One and Shigaraki means getting Dobby out of the way too. Not just Dobby, exactly, all of them. Every one of the enemy's major operators. We must divide and conquer one by one. To that end, we have to lure each of these villains to their defeat. This does remind me of Heroes Rising, when they had to split that up, because they had Slice in one area. Chimera was being taken on by Team Shoto, so that sets up the Dobby fight. You had 9 versus Bakugo and Deku. Sabobu, you're grounded. No. Oh, is that all? Pretty optimistic thinking. Easier said than done. Fair enough, which is why we need a strategy to make that happen. You mean Aoyama? The boy is still in turmoil. Born quirkless, his very life was exploited as a resource. I sympathize, but we're weighing our own feelings against the fate of the world, and the fact remains that he turned his back on decent society. Based on my position, I have no choice but to proceed with caution. I choose to have faith in young Aoyama. I want to trust him, but I do trust his teacher, Shota Aizawa. After a full exam, we found no irregularities. Also, we got, Aizawa sitting there basically face-to-face with Aoyama through a protective screen, or glass, I should say. After a full exam, we found no irregularities. Brainwaves were normal too. So Lady Nagant's fate was courtesy of something All for One had obtained after his grand defeat by All Might. In retrospect, if he'd really planted an explosive ability in the boy that would trigger in the event of betrayal, then why murder that other peon as a lesson? Why threaten the family with death for lying to him? Why leave anything to the imagination? The only thing that All for One planted was a seed of fear inside the boy and his parents. As I'll ask, are you scared? You won't find many friends in life that'll stick up for you like that. What do you fear? All for One himself? Yes, I'm also scared that I can never sparkle and shine as they do. Oh, look at that, what we talked about last chapter, woo! And unlike normal, when I say we talked about last chapter, you don't have to go back in time to see this because it was already said earlier this stream because of the previous the chapter. Yeah. The more they express their faith in me, the more I lose faith in myself. Even if I can take the hand they offer, if I find myself face to face with All for One, who's to say I wouldn't make the same terrible choice all over again? That is what I fear. I want to leave it all behind, to find some dark corner of the world untouched by light, where I can wait for death to take me and nothing more. And Aizawa, you may be given leniency, but your sins will be with you forever. Aoyama, once this war is over, you may no longer have a home at UA. Those friends of yours like to sugarcoat things, but I'll tell it to you straight. I'll have to rip out that fear that's taking him, rooting him by force. You will fight. It's the only thing you can do. I know all is lost unless we win this. I know that to achieve victory, I must be a pawn for our side, just like them as their equal. I understand all that. Maybe we are no different than All for One. That's definitely the case when it comes to how we intend to use you. Oof. He straight up said, we intend to use you. So him acknowledging that what they're doing is a little wild. Is AFO really that handicapped though? See, yeah. The thing with AFO that I will say is that if they're going to separate him, they need somebody like Kaminari in that party specifically to just straight up target the mask or whatever to destroy that. And they need to purely be prioritized on taking out his life support and not necessarily be prioritizing attacking him, but taking out the life support so that then they can take him out. No. No. That said, I won't allow you to slink off haunted by those sins and die a pathetic, quiet death. Not as long as I'm a hero course teacher and you're my student. I still have no intention of expelling you, because none of the lessons I teach my students are about living a life burdened by guilt. As ashamed and as despicable as you feel, you will walk alongside the friends who still reach out to you. We will protect you, I guarantee it. Stick with them and you'll be okay. But what can a single miscreant like me even accomplish? Of course, he's still scared. Anyone would be. You're not the only one I'm putting on this path, which is why, hey, it's time, let's go. That path, right, is one we'll walk all together. Hey, and then those of us who talked about the potential of Shinso coming into play ended up being right. Look at that. And this is funny because I've definitely seen random comments like, oh, the My Hero chapter was terrible this week. And I'm like, we've spent years, literal years, talking about how, you know, if Shinso was at Kamino, I feel like things could have gone differently. If Shinso was at this point, things could have gone differently. So how did we get to this point where Horikoshi's like, we're not gonna plot block the young blood, let him step into it. And people are confused. How? Fish, you still streaming? And Shinso's new fit, I like the guards. He's got like a further ninja aesthetic going finally. Love that for him. Aizawa, this is great, actually, because again, we all figured that the whole reason he had his earphones on is that they were going to utilize him in some capacity, and they wanted to make sure that he couldn't be heard. So, oh, and the upgrades, it appears to be that like one, he has an actual outfit, period. Like it's not just a gym uniform. But we see that he's got standard shinobi garb as far as like the arm guards go. It seems to be that he's got some stitching into the vest, like around where the zipper would be. So this likely means he's got some stuff that's just straight up on his chest. And then it even looks like he's got the shoes that are more traditional, like for what you'd expect out of a shinobi. So all around, this kind of displays into, if you remember when the final exam arc happened and Shoto versus Momo, and Shoto and Momo versus Aizawa happened. Once Aizawa dropped all the caltrops, if you can recall, Shoto did ask him if he was supposed to be some kind of ninja. This is just kind of playing off on that. So, first off, we got Archbishop East in the building.
It's been nothing but a minute. But we back up in it. It's undefeated of the East, baby. What it do?
Hey. And we got Bishop Tarnish on deck.
Yo, what's going on?
All right, so since this is a double chapter, really, I get you to just ask, what have you thought of MHA so far in the year 2022, my friends?
Loved it.
You already know. Loved it.
This chapter specifically, I love this chapter a lot. This chapter made everything worth it for me. That one little talk between Aoyama and Aizawa.
Okay.
I mean, at first, last week when I seen last chapter and people kind of roasting, Shoto at first, I just let it slide.
Yo, wait. Can I talk about that real quick? That was foul because, like, that's not even like what he said got taken so out of context.
I mean, you was on like Twitter though, because I don't really be on Twitter. Like, I just be chilling on my private. I don't have MHA on my private. Like, I mute it, make sure I don't see shit because I don't got time for nobody. So I just be like, I just seen like somebody like one thing that was like, oh, they just talking. And then, so you probably see more of like, people roasting his ass.
Nah, I seen slander. Niggas was calling this Disney Channel manga. Like, it was going like, people had jokes. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So, when I looked back at it like later on in retrospect, to be honest, I understood what Shoto was trying to say. And then, honestly, he was saying that he was writing what he was trying to say. It just got misconstrued, or like, niggas was taking it too far or whatever. Basically, what he was just saying was just that Aoyama not being able to be who he wanted to be, he knew who he wanted to be more than anybody because he was held back by All For One because he couldn't really truly be, himself.
Exactly,
like, it's like you're held back and you're constrained. So more than anything, you know what you want to do, but you can't do it. But meanwhile, all your other friends are being their truest selves that they can be. It's just like, well, it's just like, all right, I understand. And then Poison Tree action, why is Shoto? He asked why Shoto said it. I don't think there was actually no more perfect person to say that because him knowing who he wanted to be, but he was held back by the shackles of his father and stuff like that. And by those constraints, him more than anybody kind of knows what it's like to be like, have the weight of something else and pressure, people forcing you to do stuff you want to do. In a sense, but you got
parents. His parents. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, this chapter made it all worth it because Aizawa was like, they were sugarcoating it. They was making it sound sweet. And I knew that. Mm-hmm. Some people need it stated in the story for, them to take it seriously.
Like, and that's kind of why I also like the fact that they just straight up said, y'all being kind of optimistic that this is going to work out. Like, because even if you get them all separated, that doesn't mean Dabi's flames aren't going to hurt somebody or cause massive damage. It doesn't mean that when you try to move in on Toga, she's not going to shank somebody, drink their blood.
They ain't even saying nothing about Toga. Like, they sleep.
So it's like there's all these variables that, because at the end of the day, let's say you pull up on Dabi and you think you're gonna bait him, and he just does like he did at NBA, just throws out like city block amounts of fire.
Bro, nobody knew he could be pulling shit like that in the first place.
Casually.
Like, bro, it's like he only gets amped up. He only goes hard when he want to go hard. He literally just that type of nigga. So it's just like, in theory, in theory and in practice, that's two fucking different things. If plans worked out like the way niggas wanted to in a fucking war, we wouldn't be here right now in the same predicament we at. Niggas got plans for days. Don't mean that shit go right. Like, literally, one thing I've been, because who asked me, who was it? Brandon De La Cruz. What's up to y'all? What's up, Cameron and Tobu? And what's up, Spectral? But Brandon said, yo, what you been up to for? It's been a while. Let's go. I've been peeping so much gas and everything. We're going to talk about Young Justice Season 3 later, which is fucking peak, all right?
Hey,
but one of the things I've been peeping was like money heist, right? And these niggas got plans on top of plans, the backup plans on top of plans. But every plan they got don't equate for shit going left field, right field, niggas dying on their team and the other team just because of that. That's like, they got this loose-ass plan. Loosely-ass plan. Divide and conquer, bro. It's not finna go so sweet and trickle like They not counting for Toga. We don't even know. They don't even know what the advisors is about like that. Like what they packing, what level they at. Like, bro, anything could go from left to right to straight away. Like, you could get some niggas they don't know about from like, all right, they got this new convict. He can do this. He can level the playing field like Cementos. Like, we don't know what they packing. Like, shit could go left, right, up, down, straight, right. Like, this whole little plan is cute and all, but at least they have something. But this is the weakest one by far. The weakest one. They not even counting for everybody. All wild cards we got on deck.
They don't even know where they at.
Like what? Like come on now.
They don't even know where they at. First off, that's what Deku and them outside doing right now. Still trying to find these niggas.
And they key trump card to switch everything around hasn't even come full circle. Ayama's still debating what the fuck to do. I don't know what we got weirdos back in the chat. Anyway, I don't know who these niggas talking to. That's what I'm like, man, bro. You got these weak ass plans. Like, all right, okay now.
Now, real quick, we gotta welcome Bishop Saez.
Hey,
Yo.
I just snuck in, but then you were talking, and then I said, yeah, let's just see what you have to say first.
All right, sis. It's been a while, so
Yeah, it's been a while. Last chapter, I just forgot that there was a chapter at all. And then for whatever reason, I didn't get the notification from Discord. So I just missed it. Yeah.
I forgot to send the Discord thing last chapter.
Yeah. I think for me, the most notable thing this chapter is how much energy All Might has all of a sudden, drawing pictures and drawing little icons.
That nigga, hey, I have an art.
So much energy this chapter.
That shit fun.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
No.
For me, the one thing I like the chapter overall, but I thought this idea, because you've been mentioning it before, just when I snuck in, you've been mentioning that All Might has, not All Might, that Eraser had said something about the kids have sugarcoated it, and he says it straight up, but he's still kind of sugarcoating it. Like, let's be honest, what he said to All Might, why do I keep saying All Might? But he kept said to Aoyama, just wasn't that brutal, all things considered. Like, he still said to him, like, your friends are still there, you're gonna walk beside us again. He thought that he will keep Aoyama in the school, and he kind of insinuated it to him too. So it was still a bit sugarcoating what Aizawa did.
And
it's not as harsh as.
I mean, you got it.
So I think what he was saying is that, like, yeah, you're right. You're a pawn in this game. You're a piece on the board right now that might not even get to have a real future, and more than likely won't, because of the way Japan kind of functions with this kind of stuff. But I'm still going to be on your side, which I think is the only thing that he can really tell him, is that, like, I don't hate you, I don't resent you, but, you know, you still got to do all this stuff, and there's a good chance that it's not going to work out well, which is why
he says we will protect you, and that he guarantees. So it's a little bit more than just I'm on your side. It's very much. It's very much still positive.
Nah, but I think, I mean, that's okay. But the thing with Deku, when it was like, all right, you can still be a hero, you know, join our side and take our hand, and you can make a difference in the world. That's like, you know, a bit more kiddish. You know, it's like they giving him a choice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, just like last time, like, well, I'm gonna come with us. Will he not? You know, it's your choice, it's your life, this, that, and other. As I was like, nah, nigga, stop feeling pity and all that. Get up. You gotta fight. You ain't got no choice in this shit. Like, it's time to move. Like, it's not like, you know how, like, you know, sometimes like, oh, if you don't want to go to school, you don't have to go to school, sweetie. That's how Deku was, like, type beat. But like, I almost like an adult. Like, nigga, you got bills to pay. I don't care. You sick, your leg broke, you know, we feeling ill, whatever. You want money, you want to pay your rent, get your ass into work. And that's kind of how Zawa put it more so. It's like, it don't matter how you feel. It don't matter if you want to take our hand or not. You get your ass out there, and this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put in the work.
You have to do something.
Yeah, and it may not erase all your mistakes and this, that, and the other. But guess what? Too bad. You did what you did. Now we're gonna move forward, and you're gonna fight. You're not going. It's not like if you want to join us, take my hand. No, get your ass up and get the moving. That's more how Zao was putting it than how Deca and them were trying to like, you know, reach out, this whatever. Zao was just like, hey, get your ass up, you know. But he did it more still a good way. That's the GOAT teacher right there, right?
Yeah, it's like
He's taking working at the slums. Yeah, you fucked up. So.
And I don't know if it's on purpose either, Boys Tree, but it would make sense because like the adult plans are almost always, yeah, we're gonna pull up and win. And that almost always seems to be like the extent of their plans.
Remember Fat Gum? Oh yeah, Maki is not gonna move.
Yeah, as long as the boss is gone, he's done. And then oh shit, the heroes at Jakku must have failed. We can't let that nigga
and
go.
Then even in Hideout Raid and Camino, like, oh, we're gonna go attack them. You know what I'm saying? Conway Woods, you're gonna bind them up. The Nomu Lab, we're gonna smash that. It's over. They don't ever plan for countermeasures.
And I think that's partially because, you know, they're supposed to have been kind of complacent since All Might. Like that's always been a background theme of the story is that All Might lifted so much weight that people just started thinking all of hero work was light work. So it is kind of, and like All Might's used to just being able to walk in and win. And even if, you know, he's had to deal with being less useful in these past 6 months, that still doesn't measure up to the 40 years of being like number one, you know?
Yeah, they really don't. Like I showed Charles, it was a translation error. It was supposed to say group of quirkless, useless ass niggas instead of, you know, the countermeasure for the Liberation Front. And that's all you got in the room. Niggas that can't do nothing but brainstorm. That's all you got.
That was the other thing too, is that like, okay, I understand not telling everybody.
Okay, go.
Bro,
but like,
bro, he ain't got no wings. I could shoot that nigga, he die. If he had his wings, he would be a threat to me.
Yeah, obviously the cat guy has a quirk. I mean, it's just a useless quirk, but it's a quirk.
Yeah, that's why I said quirkless and useless. Slash useless.
That is Keigo Takami.
Like yeah, most of the people in here aren't real combatants.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason they're not out in the field. All the big heroes are out.
Yeah, so it's like if you're like, oh, we only got to have like a small strike team, and I'm like, this can't be your strike team.
Nah, this is just a brainstorming team,
bro. Like, this is what I've been talking about. I'm like, yo, Tsukuichi. First of all, I already know what your quirk is. I'd be walking around with a super duper laser gun or some shit like that, built from America. If I'm supposed to be like the chief on a fucking police staff,
you don't know what he got on him.
So all he could do, all he a lie detector. That's it.
No. I'm talking about like you don't know what he's strapped with.
Wow, you know he ain't strapping none too crazy. You know you right.
Got QBs.
Right, that nigga, I told you that nigga Leon Kennedy. I don't know what he built different. I don't know how he survived that attack with Maki, but he built different.
Also,
but it's really now I think about it, it's really like a thing that Ragdoll, since she lost her quirk, she's way more important.
Oh, real quick,
like she's way more important than all the other Pussycats at this point in terms of how often she appears.
Yeah, that is a little true. No, Google, I do not want to change my name comes through with, even though the plan for the heroes is way too optimistic, I like that this chapter was able to tell us the win conditions for them in the second war. That part I do like establishing like a win condition.
Yeah.
But yes, that's the other thing is that them being like, oh yeah, we got to make them 10 kilometers apart. That does not matter. That's the other thing is that if you notice, there's random parts where they're kind of spitballing stuff.
Yeah. Even for the Cassie stuff, All Might was like, New Order would have worked on All for One. That's why he didn't pull up. I think.
It's like, that's not his name.
I think is key. The think is key.
Okay, that's the other thing about that, right? Is that means that even though he punched that dude's face off, in all this time, they still have not found out that All for One's last name is Shigaraki.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, these niggas don't know. Bro, I don't know why they think they so good, so confident. I like how some people just like, yeah, man, we gotta do the fuck. We gotta do it this way. That's why Aizawa the GOAT. They kept it real. He was like, listen, we ain't no different than All for One using you. But oh well, nigga, it is what it is at this point.
It's like, war.
It's war, nigga. We do by any means necessary. We have to get it.
You got a small tactical advantage. You sitting here crying still, talking about you want to die.
No, boy, that's why Azal had to be like, all right, nigga, they was doing that friendship shit with you, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. You getting your ass up. I don't care how you feel about it. Like,
I'm not. This divide and conquer just is the same strategy all over again, isn't it?
Kinda.
Sort
It's
of
the same that they did in the war, more or less. Like, of course, in the war they just happened to be divided from the start, and they didn't have to do the dividing.
Because they were like, yeah, well, we'll be able to pull up on Garaki here, and because there's multiple bases, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you see
Yeah, it wasn't, right?
Really, what they did there was even divide and conquer. It was more an element of surprise.
Yeah, but it was. They had the element of surprise because they just happened to be divided. That was the only reason why they went so well from the start.
Exactly. That's the only reason like they really got the upper hand on and won last. Like, well, took out a lot of their forces last time just because niggas was like, honestly, bro, you have to realize how hard it is to get into a fight. Like, if you ever actually been in a real fight and like you have to like patience, like first of all, you gotta get ready to fight in the first place, right? For you, somebody to bust up in your crib, like imagine you sitting on the toilet and somebody busts up in your house with guns or like with weapons trying to rob you. Like you gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, hold up, nigga. Like, you're not gonna know what to do immediately. Like, even if you ready to fight, it's just like, well, hold on, let me get my bearings together. But you can't get your bearings together because they're in your face. They already know what to do.
I'm already overwhelmed when I'm sitting on the toilet and it rings on the door. I might actually getting attacked.
It's like, bro, it's like, hold on, like, wait a minute. What's going on here? It's like, then they already had the plans. Okay, Kaminari, you know if I has electricity. S-shot, you speed shot through everybody. Midnight, yo, use your fucking sleep and stuff. It's like, well, hold on. It's like, Juzo, you use your shit, make everybody fall. Yo, Shromogi, you use your mushroom. It's like, these niggas already came prepared to take us out. Now with this one, it's a little bit different because like it's gonna be a lot of upsets that none of them are gonna see coming. Like they're gonna plan to get one person here, one person there, but
they got things that they know about that they're not even bringing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like decay.
I mean, if they actually manage to one after the other separate them, not all at once, but one after the other. Like first, everybody just bullying Toga, that could work, sure.
They wouldn't
but
even
if they want to do it all at once, nah.
They wouldn't even be able to do that because, like, all right, how do you lure Dabi? Okay, let's say you bait Dabi. Okay, that shit's still gonna be tough as fuck. Put that nigga down. Nobody getting near Shigaraki and Deku. Let's just put that out there right now.
No. But I think I mean Deku, Dabi, Toga, Dabi, Compress, they can take them down if they actually get them alone and have enough heroes there to fight them. They're strong, sure, but if you get some top heroes there, they can.
Yeah, but that's
all an if. It's a big if.
That's the thing. If first of all, the only one you could literally, for a fact, easily lure out alone is Dabi with Endeavor.
Oh God!
However they plan to do that. If Toga gets a squad to stick with her, how you really gonna lure her away from everybody else? Then Spinner gonna be with Shigaraki, of course. Or how you gonna lure him away? He gonna have they're already the Liberation Front right now.
How are you luring anybody away with Skeptic? He gonna be able to tell forces to go where? Oh, Dabi needs help. Oh, Toga needs help. Like
and
then, gonna be able to.
Then you got All For One being a threat on his own. Then you have all these high end Nomu. Then the advisors are easy.
They didn't say a damn thing about the Nomu this chapter.
Like that can't fold any top tier nigga alone. Like if any one of the high ends want to bang with Endeavor, the strongest nigga out there right now, he can do that shit they want to.
They give him a good mid-diff fight.
Yeah. And let's not put him like they put more than one. Like it's a lot, and plus we don't know how to scale the advisors. They all at least Cemento's the Keaton's level at that bare minimum.
I'm also so confused. Like, how do they even want to use Aoyama? Like, he's just they'd be more. I actually think it would be more promising if they continued working on Kurogiri, because I think he'd be more useful in actually luring people out if they actually managed to switch him.
That's one of the things.
Aoyama is like how are they going to fall for Ayama? What are they planning?
Because we know that All for One had a teleportation quirk at Kamino.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
For me, it's like at this point, with him having spent so much time around Shigaraki after the fusion, he should be able to pull him back if necessary. So even if they surround All for One, in theory, both All for One and Melvin would have that same teleportation quirk. So it's kind of like, obviously you could just have it written that that's one of the quirks that got destroyed, and then that would make Star Sacrifice especially meaningful. But that being on the table, it seems like that teleportation quirk has not been factored into their plan at all. The idea that you could potentially split them up, have all your forces 10 kilometers away from, like them 10 kilometers away, and then have the raid team that's going after Shigaraki just lose their target because he was teleported to the other team, and then they just wipe out that other squad together.
Yeah, and who's to say that who's to say, like, all right, what about if the upset goes like who they got? It's like this. You gotta have Endeavor. Is Endeavor and Shoto together trying to take out Dabi, or is it just focus on Endeavor? He's the lure target.
They gotta be together for
yeah.
Dabi.
Then
Yeah.
how you know Dabi gonna have backup. You ain't getting Dabi alone. He ain't stupid.
Never.
He not stupid. He gonna have a backup plan.
That's why I brought up Skeptic earlier. He gonna be like, yo, Skeptic, send like 10 people here. Like, I need some backup.
Like, remember, Dabi was always the one in the Vanguard squad leading people to make moves. Like, remember, like, let's run through Dabi like real quick. Again, he knew to split people up during the war. He knew how to put the fire down, take everybody out. He made sure people stayed quiet. Skeptic stayed quiet so he could sneak attack niggas. He already got that info on Hawks. He preemptively strike that. He been waiting to go at it. Like, he's not gonna just go
finesse Tokoyami easily.
Yeah, like, he's not just gonna go along and get jumped. Like, he gonna have backup some type of way. Like, it's just like it's trying, like, you got to look at the details. Like, this is a loose idea of a plan, but putting this shit into practice and looking at what the villains got to make the switch flip at any given time. Like, it's like, what the?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we definitely don't get the whole plan here. We just get like the basic idea of let's divide them and then take them out one by one, which I think makes sense as a plan. Of course, like, it's only a half plan, and for now, I want to be positive because I can't really imagine that All Might and all these cops and all the heroes and Hawks and whoever is involved in making this plan are just sending out their people on such a flimsy plan. So I think that they have more, and I do think that there is actually, with whatever they have, they might actually have a decent chance at pulling at least some victories. Like, I do think that with this plan, they can take out probably most of the league, but not Shigaraki and AFO, of course, because they just, I mean, even if they manage to divide Shigaraki completely from everybody else, who's gonna take him out?
That's Deku and Shigaraki right there, because ain't nobody stepping up to the plate with that.
Yeah, right. So it's still that part is still flimsy, but I am positive, and I want to be hopeful that they have more of a plan than just let's hope we can somehow get them one by one and then hope that we don't die. I hope they have more than that.
And then once again, it's like, okay, you lure him, you lure this person there, you lure Shigaraki. Okay, let's say somebody in the chat said, all right, they use Shigaraki to lure him, All Might lose Shigaraki away. Okay, you got that one. You got Dabi and Endeavor. Okay, let's say they use Ayama and to get All for One away, right? And do a bait switch like that. Okay, Toga and Spinner. Don't think just because they not like strong ass niggas that they can't make a difference, and that's what that be what sets you up. The things you ain't looking for, just like that, is like how you get them separated and alone. Spinner gonna have some type of backup now. They already said
Spinner folded everybody in the brainstorming room easily.
Exactly, he really could that right now if he wanted to, because people forget
killing everybody in that room.
Spinner has hands. People kind of forget that just because it's not extravagant. Remember, he's a killer too. He be out there throwing bows and swords and swings like that. Like, that's why I'm like, all right, now it's like y'all could go try to crush them one by one. It's not gonna work that simple, bro. Like, it's gonna be a lot of stuff because they under firepower, they under manpower anyway.
So yeah, it's like the story has made it a point to emphasize a lack of proper firepower. This plan is half baked. Oof. Well, Sayas would like that. So Alves in the chat asked, why do I feel like if Endeavor or Shota were to die, we'd get a situation similar to Byakuya in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc? Kill off a character, and then so many fans harass you that you're like, it's not worth potentially getting stabbed in the streets to leave this character dead. Let me just bring them back.
It's not worth getting stabbed in the streets.
Okay, so did you notice that in the old days, like a lot of jump mangaka used to actually let you see what they look like?
Yeah, but nowadays,
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, like if you like, you can find images of Kubo because at that time period, like there's old Shonen Jump covers from like the 90s where the cover is actually all of the mangaka. Like you can see their faces and everything. But because we have this weird situation that like, and it's happened with a couple of idols too, where people get really obsessed and then they like follow them and stalk them and attack them and stuff like that. Like we have this era now of jump mangaka wearing masks all the time.
yeah, or just don't show their faces, or some niggas don't even reveal their gender. We still don't even know. We really don't know, kind of like 100% for a fact, undeniably, if Uridate is a man or a woman. Still hasn't been confirmed.
Yeah, but that's not just because of fear of fans, but also just because
it's more so
sometimes
they keep their lives like hidden now. It's like, I understand the point. You don't want to
no, but I mean, the not revealing gender part is not just to keep life hidden. It's also because in certain genres, it's just you have an advantage if you write a story as a man or a woman, depending on it. Like it's a marketing thing, also.
So yeah.
How well does that? I understand that like here more so, but how well is that track in Japan? Because it's
I don't know Japan, but I've heard, for example, that if you, especially if you write shonen, for a while ago, I don't know if it still is that way. If you were a woman writing shonen, that might have been difficult to actually be, for whatever reason. There were quite a few shonen female shonen writer who didn't reveal their gender because they wanted to have that as a marketing thing.
Like, a lot of people didn't know.
Same thing with J.K. Rowling, who didn't reveal her gender at first because
the author of Demon Slayer, most people, like especially outside the States, didn't even know Gyotog or whatever her name is.
Go to you.
Something like that.
You know what Demon Slayer manga?
But a lot of people didn't really know that was a woman until the series was really taking off. So, and when you think about weird stuff that like Oda says, for example, he's like, I'm drawing the dreams of little boys around the world. It makes sense that a lot of people, before they know, or if they know ahead of time that it's a woman, they might feel some kind of way since they talk about it in such an odd fashion, like, oh, I'm drawing the dreams of these boys specifically. But
yeah, Poison Furukawa.
Because even if you remember, the Death Note author wrote a manga about writing manga, and within that manga, he talked about how you could still get your series canceled if it was popular with girls instead of guys. Because that's not the target audience.
Such a target audience. How dare that? Imagine if too many women bought a shonen magazine. No.
Right. And it's ironic because to me, it don't matter who your target audience is as long as you're getting paid.
Money don't matter what gender, nigga. Green is green. The fuck?
Yeah, of course.
Numbers, zeros are zeros. Numbers are numbers, fool. Like, that shit don't matter.
Bills is non-binary, baby.
Wait. We ain't really talk about Shinso like that yet. How y'all feel about this guy?
Who? You mean Spider-Man? You mean a new character from Into the Spider-Verse too?
One theory I've heard about this plan with Aoyama and how like Shinso might be a part of it. So like, you know how Shinso could copy voices with his little thing. Somebody was saying they might do that to All for One.
Well, that's kind of what I expect to be Shinso's role, but the thing is that he can only be in one place.
Yeah.
So the question is who, like if he's going after old man AFO, that doesn't stop Melvin from...
The brainwasher wouldn't even work on Shigaraki.
Yeah, I don't think it would work on Shigaraki and AFO because of, it doesn't work on Deku, so
yeah, like
right?
Similar on these two.
Deku should tell them that.
What's interesting in that regard is also because I've been waiting. It's two niggas I've been waiting on more than anybody. It was this nigga and Monoma, because he said those two niggas gonna be
Monoma.
important in the final act, and I was like, okay, those are two kind of left field characters to pick in and just say like, oh, okay, these two niggas gonna be playing some big roles, and you know the quirks they have, and you know all the theories we already have about how to use that shit going forward. So it's like, so somebody also said, I think whoever said you think this is the end of the parts, or we'll have a part 4. I believe we got a part 4. I think we getting parts until the heroes are finished lining up everybody who we need to see.
I want before we're done with this the story of how we became heroes thing. I want to see Endeavor and Mirio.
And we gotta see what the boys are.
Oh, it's up for that. just about Shinso, because I'm glad to see Tiny Aizawa. That's great. But I've been kind of a little bit confused what these other two students, which I assume are general studies students, general course students, what they are doing, because from what they're saying, it's time, let's go. They seem to be involved in whatever is planned, but they're just regular kids, right?
I mean, that could just simply be like, okay, now the heroes need to move out, and the civilians need to go here, or what have you, or they're coming to get him so he can go out and move, because we know they're splitting up in different squads going to do shit. So it could just be like, because obviously he's training right now. He ain't just chilling on the wall, smoking the blunt or nothing. He like, you can see him sweating upside down. Obviously, he's still prepping up. So they're probably like, hey, yo, Shinso, it's time. You know, you need to
get training last minute, if anything.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
okay.
You can see he's
just
from
how they said it, it sounded to me as if they were also involved. Like obviously Shinso is involved in whatever's going on. I was just confused why these just general course students were just.
Yeah, they just know him, so I'm pretty sure it's no other.
I get you though.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's no other characters to use. So,
which also we got to factor in that. Oh wow, All Might's trending. Like with characters like Shinso coming into play, when we look at this, I don't know. I'm kind of, how do I put it? I want to make sure I choose the right words.
hard R.
No, not we're not pulling out the hard R. Geez.
Sure.
Yeah, everyone, but we got Ketsubutsu kids in the last arc, and so it kind of feels like this will be the perfect time, especially with what they talked about at the start of the chapter, like, oh, we're sending you to Shiketsu. Those students, just like the perfect time for them to come into play. Because while Inasa was primarily a foreshadowing tool, and that's like what the main purpose of his character was, it'd be nice to bring back a heavy hitter just because, you know, like he was kind of a big deal. And if they're really trying their hardest to win, they kind of can't just, you know, leave that particular person on the table. He's kind of like the way this is the dude that eliminated 100+ people at once. Like we gotta bring back Mr. Wendy here.
And you know what? Who's to say, you know, they think they're gonna like, okay, we're gonna separate them, ambush them here, ambush who there, this who whatever. Who's to say the villains ain't kind of foreseeing this? Who's to say the villains don't flip the script?
You already know they did. I didn't even want to bring that up.
Well,
yeah, I mean, they have Compress there should be the easiest thing in the world to flip around. plan.
That was like clockwork to me. Like off one already going like this plan might not even work. I'm glad they have a plan B. Or might say they have a plan A and B. So they got multiple plans. I guess.
I mean, the plan we know the plan B from last chapter, which is basically, Hatsume got the fucking shuttles flying, UA flying out this bitch. So
you think that's plan B?
I think that's part of her plan B, or it was the shift in the movement because they already said their backup plan was like, all right, shit go left. Worst case scenario, we gotta have everybody evacuate, and we gotta wait for them to evacuate. That's plan B.
That's for UA though. You think that their plan involves UA? I don't think their plan involves UA because they're talking about splitting them up. Unless they want to lure them to UA.
Because they need multiple locations. Like, what locations can we lead them to and stuff like that?
The plan could be to just evacuate UA, turn that into a little battleground because they already set up Shigaraki going to UA because Shigaraki has to interact with the UA barrier because it has defenses against him, so he has to be at UA somewhat one way or another. So they might try to contain him at UA might just be the battleground for Deku.
That's what I've been thinking too. Because at this point, I was like, all right, you know what?
That's the only place that could contain them.
Yeah, some place they gotta fight. Like it's like, all right, something going down at UA. Like niggas just finna be like when they Civil War, when niggas just like, all right, we line up here, you line up there. And we just gonna have to just go at it because they don't have the manpower to do.
I was thinking, it's actually genius that they're trying to separate Dabi if they are trying to lure Shigaraki to UA for like a battleground. Because if Dabi was with Shigaraki, he's like UA is an enclosed place. He is set UA on fire, kill everybody.
And Shigaraki just be floating above that bitch and not have to worry about a damn thing.
Nothing.
But I kind of concept now because we're seeing that the city like the UA campus can disassemble in blocks. Would a potential fight in the sky where they hop from UA block to UA block not go hard?
Listen.
I was thinking that because the Cassie fight you saw, he was hopping from jet to jet. I see it.
But this time be more so Deku doing the hopping because he be on
both of them.
Because like part of it is probably because I've been playing Kingdom Hearts more, and I've been trying to get my girlfriend to play Kingdom Hearts. But I'm thinking back to Kingdom Hearts 2. When you get to when you get to the Xemnas battles, towards the end, when you're like hopping from building to building, and he's like throwing buildings and stuff at you in the world that never was, and you have to like cut buildings in half and hop between them to get to them.
Listen, side note, that's one of the greatest boss battles I've ever had the pleasure experience in my life. Fuck that shit so gas. But back to the main point at hand.
Give me KH2 looking like KH3.
I was thinking that Hatsume making those buildings like fly and blast off is kind of wild. I was like, well, what if they like flying throughout Japan for this fight? Oh my god!
Listen, we can say some stuff later. You're doing this now. Hold up, man.
My thing is just like, what's more of an I am here moment than literally fighting all across Japan? Because like one of the big tropes that you see in a lot of these series is like the whole dashing through the sky thing. Like even if you just look at the most recent One Punch Man chapter, they're like running around, flying through the air, going super fast. And like we kind of got like a bit of that with Deku running through the air with 100% against Overhaul. But it is going to be a dragged out fight. We don't want him constantly clocking at 100%, kicking off the air.
Yeah, float now. Float.
Yeah. So it's like, give us the buildings, and then like also because then you have Decay coming into play too.
Shigaraki kicks him off a block, and he's like, he uses Black Whip to stretch onto a different one. He's flying. That'll be heat.
Boosting himself back with 5 Gen. Man, listen.
Why did we talk about UA fighting at UA? Why not everywhere
You're talking
else?
about like one of the plans could be fighting at UA.
As a battle.
For one
Yeah,
of
but why
villains.
specifically? I mean, everywhere else is basically already evacuated, other than UA. So
I was saying I was saying UA specifically for Shigaraki because they have countermeasures for him at UA, so his decay won't spread. His decay won't spread. Like, let's say they put Shigaraki in the center of UA and he does decay. Like with the countermeasures the barrier has, like hypothetically, the decay wouldn't be able to spread past that point. So it could be like a containment place for him. And Hatsume has like new schematics to send evacuation shelters flying, so civilians aren't even an issue.
Yeah,
so if they're trying to like lure them away, like to fight, like neutralize him, UA might be the best place to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just had this random thought about like if they manage to actually evacuate a complete place, it doesn't matter if you just case everything. So what? The city is destroyed anyway.
I mean, they still want, to rebuild. Everything's really gone. And there's going to be other villains. There's going to be other fights in other places. So I get you. The city's going to get destroyed either way. Because that All for One fight going to be a lot of chaos. The Dobby fight, whatever's around that.
That's an important thing too. I'm like, all right, nigga, who y'all? If you got Endeavor over here with like, Davi, Shigaraki, and Deku, who the fuck's supposed to be fighting all these high ends in All for One?
Exactly. They haven't said anything about the
because y'all understaffed as is. Once again, facing everybody but All for One and the high ends. Y'all already still understaffed.
I really hope the plan is not to fight them all at the same time. I really hope that's not the plan because I
promise you that is the plan.
That's the plan.
It sounds like it, but
it really does sound like it.
That
I
is
hope
the
it
plan.
isn't because it's such a flimsy thing. It's just
that's what I keep trying to tell y'all. Like, bro, this weak ass, like all the plans they have had so far, this is by far the weakest one, and they have a backup. This is by far the
allegedly.
That's why I'm hoping that there's a more thorough plan, and we're purposely having part of the plan like withheld from us.
Wait, see, like this chapter, to me, this isn't the real plan. This is like the goal because we still don't know what they want to do with Aoyama. That seems to be like the true like plan, like whatever it is to lure All for One off.
Yeah, because it's like, are they going to try to send All for One or like coordinate a meetup with him somewhere because it's like, first off, they got to figure out what cave All for One to squat again. The Aoyama parents like restricted, like we don't have a way to actually contact him. He comes to us. So you kind of got to sit there and like figure out how you justify, okay, he has to come to us. How are they going to get in contact with them? And then where do they choose to interact with him? Because there's obviously going to have to be like a set location that's believable for All for One to feel confident enough to come to them. So would All for One come to UA? No. Melvin would.
I think they do have a location, like, because remember when they first spoke about using Aoyama, they were like, Sansa was like, oh, let's clear over a few areas or whatever. So they probably have a location for All for One. But my question is, like, how are they planning to lure out All for One himself, actually? Because one, he never does that. Two, even if they try to set him up with some, Aoyama has Deku in his, like, a secluded area, like, because that was what he told him to do. Why would he send himself and not Shigaraki?
I mean, maybe he doesn't need to. If he manages to separate everybody else, then by extension, All for One would be alone.
Some holes I'm seeing.
Yeah. It's like, for their sake, I want there to be, like more to this plan so that
definitely it's such a flimsy thing. I don't understand why All Might is so excited about it.
That nigga was slapping on tags on the screen. Yo,
Stain put the battery in his back.
Boy, oh God, he over here smacking the wall. Look, All for One here, Shigaraki there.
Let me draw some flames.
My man is having fun. Having fun.
Shit.
Bishop Bonzu.
Let's go.
Viva Revolution.
How are people? How are you doing, man? Damn. This chapter, I never thought that I would see All Might so active in a while, man. Damn. He was like a teacher with so much passion. He was teaching this course, how to defeat All for One 101.
You mean how to be a fool 1-on-1? Yeah, you right.
I hope that they're being a fool, because with what Horikoshi said about that the manga can end this year, stuff like this. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Yeah. I can't wait to see how Pleasantry, hi people. Thank you for coming back again. I'm happy to see you. What did I miss? Literally, because Alves Correa. Thank you for the love.
Just brainstorming, man.
So what did I miss?
Just brainstorming.
We're trying to figure out why the heroes are so confident with their plan when it's a shaky seeming plan at best.
Man, it's so shaky. I couldn't understand how they could have been so trying to show like they have hope. It is so diversion 101, you know what I mean? Like everybody is happy, everybody's trying to, we're gonna do it. And it is literally the recipe for catastrophe, literally. So yeah.
The only person they're happy was All Might. Everybody else was like, yeah, but does that work? Is that really good?
And that's kind of the thing about this plan that sticks out to me too, which is why part of why I mentioned the All Might thing, where like people are kind of more complacent, but also it's like, even though part of his plot is realizing he's not the big buff nigga he used to be, this plan feels like All Might being like, how did I used to handle stuff back in the day? I just ran at people.
I just touched it.
I got it. We'll just run at them. Like what?
Honestly, this plan would have worked if it's like, all right, All Might, we got manpower and we got Q on our side. So as soon as you separate one person, you just take them out, and we just jump them.
Right,
nigga, that shit not gonna work like that, boy.
That's the thing about it, literally, is that when you see vigilantes, always was like this. He came, he swing by, he does his work, and then he moves on. But right now, we're talking about two Alpha Ones guys.
Right,
that's
the problem. Like you send Deku against one of them, Shigaraki, for example, which at this point I think, as he is now, Deku would lose against Shigaraki. But let's just say that's an okay fight, Deku with Shigaraki. But then who's gonna fight All for One? There's still who?
Bro, that's why I keep stressing time and time again. We don't got the manpower to fight enough niggas without worrying about All for One and those high ends. Once again.
Man. We don't have.
Then we gotta worry about throwing those niggas into the ball pit. It's like, bro, like y'all try. I don't know, man. Like,
it's like just thinking about it. If we had stars and stripes, for sure that plan would have worked too. But she's not there. She's dead. So
bro, ain't nobody here. Ain't nobody here.
And they ain't getting no help either.
Exactly. And I love that. I love that the people making this plan are like all the people who won't have to do the fighting.
Bro.
Like imagine,
God.
They've made this whole thing complete, and they walk up to Endeavor and Mirko and the other people who actually have to do the fighting and tell them, so you have to face All for One, and Endeavor's like, what?
Oh.
Yeah, damn, justice for the gold.
We just got a new
super chat.
Yep.
From MK the baby. Just want to tell everyone to like the stream. Okay, thanks. Bye. Make sure y'all like the stream. Somebody super chatted it.
Yep. Facts, like the stream. Thank you. Cameron barely know Kabanari cannot be like.
Show your love. Like the
Hold on.
That's not gonna work.
Got a sidetrack real quick. Shola. Yes, it's what I've been telling people. A perfect, on point, on theme ending. Whew.
What?
So
Hell's Paradise.
Read the chat. So we're gonna be talking about stuff we've been peeping since we've been gone.
Hey,
Alves, I agree with you. Shinso and Maki needs to happen, that interaction. I think that if he gets released, which he will.
Okay. There's a lot of. I need Hori to just go ahead and confirm that teleportation quirk is gone, because otherwise, All for One is like one of the biggest assholes on the planet for not just popping everybody back to him. Because like Ujiko doesn't have to be in prison.
In fact, he has John Tom's quirk. You know what I'm saying? He could teleport Ujiko out. He could get compressed if he wants to. That's probably how. Listen, if we want a headcanon, that's probably how Toga ended up there. That teleportation quirk. He could just bring people to him. that he needs to be with
I just
him.
hope that All for One just decided to first wait until Shigaraki is all set up and then do the next prison break, because it makes no sense for him to keep all these people locked up.
Right. Like,
Especially Ujiko.
No.
Ujiko should have been free a long time ago. He should have been the first one he broke out.
Or even
Oh my God.
Kurogiri, because Kurogiri is like a bit of a wild card, because if Aizawa gets through to him, that guy could make decent damage.
Nah, he ain't never come back to the way he fully was before.
Yeah, not
They-
fully, but it's a bit of a wild card, because I don't really know how. I don't know if All for One knows how much of an influence Aizawa at present like would still maybe have on him. So keeping him there for long would be at least a tiny risk.
Well, with the way that nigga be moving, I'm pretty sure he thought of that too. Because they already know they was close to each other. He already knows that for a fact.
Yeah, you know.
So like, I'm pretty sure he thought about that by now. Who said something I wanted to talk about? Daniel, they gonna run that. Gasman's got. Shout out to Coyote. They running it. Momo's running that one back. That's all Momo. She running that one back. That is primarily on her. She gonna have to run that shit back.
Yo, Cameron Bailey, facts. I was gonna say that earlier. Like this whole thing with Aoyama is so funny to me because we already had that dialogue from All for One saying that he didn't care, bro. If Aoyama got caught, he already said that it didn't matter if it happened. And there's no way that he didn't think to himself, if they find Aoyama, they might try to come up with a plan. There's no way he hasn't thought about that.
and that's kind of my other
Yeah, really
thing,
confused
too.
how they tend to use him. Like, even if All for One didn't know that he's caught and doesn't know that they might
kill
plan
him.
something, why would Aoyama succeed at luring anybody out?
This might kill him even. This might kill him because literally, from what I'm understanding, people are still not understanding. The heroes don't understand that man has a plan above a plan.
My thing is that any bait that I feel like any bait Aoyama could potentially be is set up for All for One to be like, oh no, my lighter broke.
Mm.
Like how he did Genius. Like, oops, was that me? Because they like everybody's trying to assure Aoyama so much that, like, I mean, could you go ahead and be super positive, optimistic? Of course, because we're in the Return of the Jedi phase of the story. But it would almost feel too soon for things to just start working out really, really well. You know?
I mean, not unless he really wants to quit this thing within a year, then maybe.
Nah, I ain't buying that. First of all, this nigga still drawing sketches, for no reason, unprovoked. I love my ass. This nigga still drawing sketches of the characters. So, honestly, nigga, what is this? Is this supposed to be like an inside joke between mangaka? Because this nigga a genius. A lot of these niggas are geniuses in their craft. And I'm not just talking about hard coaches. There's plenty of other niggas like are geniuses, right? In writing and crafting and also another. What type of crack pipe you been fucking smoking? If you think you can close out every single thing you need to do.
I think it's a running gag, yeah.
Russian within a year. You know how many chapters you put out a year, nigga. You smoking crack. You think you should be able to really complete this shit? Run through everything. I don't care how fast you running in a year. You do have to be throwing shit to the wayside, off screening, and not even mentioning ever again to truly believe you can get in a year, bro. Like, I really think it's an inside joke.
Bro. If he just brought
Shinso
back, that's how I know. Like, he's not stopping. He's bringing back every plot point he ever done mentioned before, and that's gonna take him more than a year. It's going to.
Like, it's gonna take us, bro, just to get started.
If he gives everybody the respect they deserve, it's more than a year guaranteed.
Yeah, just to get us started in the fight. We ain't gonna be goddamn fighting probably until April or May.
Yeah, I mean, what happened today or around about now or last year? That was the end of the war? Was it the Todoroki flashback?
Yeah, it was around that around
not
this time
that much
last
happened
year
since then, really.
When the war ended, literally, like the prison break. Oh, literally last year today, like yesterday, the prison break chapter happened.
And since then, not much happened in terms of like the grand scheme of the story.
Exactly. Like this shit just started literally moving overall again.
It just got a plan.
Oh,
I mean, unless the
Mr.
story
Andrew
just
coming
ends with
through.
the villains winning, then of course it could be open. Yeah.
Mr. Andrew coming through with the have a great weekend. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Andrew.
Oh.
Nafisa.
Hola.
So, and my thing
Nafisa,
is that
please read that new stone, please.
the only way I could really see this ending in a year is if the plan from the adults, especially because they compare it themselves to All for One here, does genuinely involve like just straight up sacrificing some kids and stuff like that, just to get a couple good shots off.
I wouldn't put it past Kango. Actually, I'm being too pessimistic.
You're just still bitter.
Like,
you're all still bitter because of Twice, all of you.
And you goddamn right.
I mean, remember how in the war, Kaminari and Tokoyami were on the front lines, and then they had that conversation with Midnight, and Midnight was like, "Yo, y'all just got better quirks. I'm sorry." So I think they're gonna have that talk again with the students, like, "Yo, I'm sorry for doing this," and then we're gonna get a moment where the students are like, "No, we want to be in this fight," and then
this is our fight, much as y'all's. Blah blah blah.
Like,
I'll run it.
Because, like you said, if they want to really like put up a fight against All for One without Deku, they need like some students. They need like probably Nighttime, Tokoyami. They need things like that.
And so this is gonna sound weird, but the only way I can really see some of these plots that Horikoshi has directly stated he wants to talk about being dropped, or him like rushing to the ending, is if his editor, like Shonen Jump, was basically like, "Hey, these anti-discrimination plots and stuff are very much countercultural, and we don't like that. So censorship."
It's gonna have to be like Shonen Jump heads coming down, because even the editor said they can't control that.
Yeah,
he even said so himself.
It would have to be a higher up.
Like, because the editors already said, "Yo, we don't know shit. We don't know what's going to happen when things going to end." And then like they did say like, "Well, we really can't control this nigga." Then he even stated himself like, and like through the character, he's like, "Wow, this guy's just doing whatever he wants to do, huh?" And like, "Yep, just doing whatever he wants to do." Like, they niggas can't really slow him down at this point.
And like I said, the main reason I say that is because of the specific things that get cut out of MVA. Like, a lot of the stuff that helps humanize the villains gets extracted and removed, or is like carefully sliced out. Like, removing the CRC from the anime doesn't actually benefit the anime at all, or the viewers. All it does really is make people who don't want to think about how outdated discriminatory ideologies are feel a little more welcome. Like the dude who was mad about Attack on Titan's ending because he was like, "Man, I thought it was saying that it was okay to prioritize your people and see yourselves as better than other people, even if you aren't actually morally superior." And I'm like, you thought the message was racism good? Like, what? So it kind of comes off as like people like, that's like the only way I can see him just like completely dropping the Tokoyami stuff, where we made it a point to talk about it in the side novels. We had Chimera bring it up in the movies. We know that he wanted to do an arc with Shoji, and like, if all that stuff, like, it has to be somebody being like, "No, don't do that. You can't do that."
That's the thing. The Shoji stuff is still being set up.
Like, and that's why I'm like, nah, like this, like, I'm like, there's no way they're just gonna like walk past this stuff unless he's being told he cannot focus on it for real.
Nah, that has to be like, I'm talking about from the top of the top, like CEO Jump got to come in his office and be like, "Listen," and even then, y'all, like, I'd be reading the interviews and analyzing. This nigga is a petty nigga. When they be telling him he can't do some shit, he be like, "All right, I'm gonna do this shit my way, some type of way, whatever." He literally said, "Yo, fight your editors tooth and nail, no matter what the cost, and don't budge an inch." He said, "Do what you gotta do." This stuff, like, everything about this manga been political from damn start. Talk about all this type of discrimination, this, that, and other. For them to drop one of the biggest things that he been setting up for the longest time, nah, it's got to be like top of the food chain coming down to try to check this nigga. And even then, he might pull a workaround on these niggas. Like that nigga real petty, bro. Like
it's gonna happen no matter what. Even if they do step in, it's gonna happen smaller than he wanted it to. It's not gonna be dropped completely. He gonna
some way, shape, or form is getting addressed.
Because it's too important to the story at this point. Honestly, that's really what it is to me. Like it's too heavily involved in the plot now.
It's literally a part of the main villain cast argument with Spinner. That's literally his character arc. Undeniably, that's what his character arc is about.
Being spread. Like at first, it's one. You know what I'm saying? Like the being petty thing you just brought up. Like I feel like he really was being petty during the Cassie thing at first when he brought up the Spinner stuff again and made it even more prevalent. Like he got it spreading throughout the city. Like he was like, "Y'all want to cut this? All right, I'm gonna expand upon it even more." Like, Spinner, our voice.
Man, listen. I mean, listen. Who was that? I was about to talk to. That was.
Yo, as I passed this chapter too, I just want to say heat design choice.
And the new scar.
Yeah, bro. Oh God,
I'm a fan.
Amazing.
I've been telling niggas since the war, before he was in the hospital, like that nigga lost his eye, and niggas like, nah, I don't really mean nothing, this and other. And I was like, bro, even in the art from the exhibition, he literally got an eye patch on his eye, and they was like, well, Hawk still got his wings, and that don't really mean it. I'm like, nigga, Shigaraki slashed past this man's eye. Like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Just because wings grow back doesn't mean that eyes now grow back.
Like, come on, like, I was like, bro, Shigaraki literally on panel scratched past this nigga's face and slashed his eye. I was like, that was so clear. They was like, nah. I was like, he can't lose his eye because I was like, bro, all right.
When he gets his hero costume and then we get the robot leg in its entirety and we find out what it actually does, I'm excited, bro.
I don't know. Wait, Hatsune, them niggas be moving. I don't know, boy. Nigga might have a juice booster jet on his leg.
For the record, what Thomas just said, what Thomas Washington just said, is exactly how I feel like the situation would be if it really ended in a year. I would feel like this is like when Togashi did Yu Yu Hakusho, and he was like, "You want me to deal with these deadlines, do all this shit? Nah, fuck it, I'm done." Because like that's why Yu Yu Hakusho has such an abrupt ending in like the anime, and why the Three Kings saga, it was like, one round.
Yeah, that shit is that wasn't hitting for me at that point. Still one of my favorite animes, but it wasn't hitting like it should have. But when I look back, I'm like, you know, the explanation for everything, it all tracks now, like why it went the way it did.
Yeah, like he was like, yeah, I'm done. And so like that's the only way I can see that one going. And also, yeah, the Star and Stripe Bros still being around is a nice touch. One of my favorite things about the Star and Stripe fight that like doesn't get talked about because people are always like, oh, like it's just, is that it actually showed us how far ahead the US was of Japanese tech. When they made it a point to mention that like they had better like weapons and support course in the US, because up until they showed up with their electromagnetic barriers and laser beams, we assume like I don't think anybody had really been like, oh yeah, people are just going to be able to pull up with a bunch of laser beam cannons and stuff like that in this series. Like upgraded guns, sure, like some support like bracers, yeah, but like nah, like lasers are like a fully utilized thing in the US military now, along with, you know, creating force fields and stuff like that essentially. So it's like we finally got like a higher explanation of like what the tech is really like in this world, even if it is behind in certain areas.
I mean, I already knew, you know, them niggas is moving different immediately since Mid Gauntlets had put up in this bitch. And I was like, all right, this is the type of tech I expected to see, you know, post time skip, etc. So I was like,
it's crazy how it's supposed to be better.
Yeah, so I was like, shit, these niggas. Yeah, so when these niggas was pulling over like force fields and shit, like we in fucking, I don't know, fantasy or some shit. I'm like, or we like Star Trek or some shit. I'm like, but what the fuck going on over here?
Which that was something that I liked about 339, which is that we actually got a name for the material that's used to make the compression things. Because she said, what did she say? I don't have the
there's a copendium, was it?
Yeah. So it's like, yep, the condenium. So we got like a hard confirmation of an element or material that exists in the world for what he's using, which condenium being like condensed, and then em like whether you could be like uranium or anything else like that. Something like the idea is there. Yep, yeah. Daniel, it is mentioned that Detnerat copies some US tech or Western tech in their designs, and that's where the things like the Curious Flattener were based off of. Let's see. So yeah. Also, my boy Megumi's going off in JJK.
What?
Regular shit for him. Like,
yeah,
went crazy.
Man, listen, shout out to my boy Giorno because he one of the only people I know on that Sakamoto Days gas pack. Don't listen, all I know is don't fuck with old niggas.
So you're forgetting about me?
Hold on. First of all, I didn't know you had internet. Second of all, you wasn't here the last couple of times. Although you were supposed to come through, but you didn't because you didn't tell nobody you was in school because you don't love us no more. But that's besides the point. Hey, BG.
Chill, my guy.
I've been in here, but y'all been on a roll, so I had to wait.
Yeah, I saw that you were in here, but I didn't want to blow you up.
Yeah, y'all were on. I didn't want to just interrupt nobody.
I know how that feels.
Dog, did y'all hear that? We living in a world where BG don't cut people off no more.
How would you shut your ass up? How about that?
Hey, I was acknowledging the growth. That's how you know this really could be our Hero Academia.
Man, listen, I can't wait until Shiggy and Deku hold hands talking about that. That's crazy.
Oh, I see. But yes, I think this is good. This is really good. There's only one part of this chapter that confuses the ever living shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking what's his name? Aizawa. Mm-hmm. Aizawa confuses me because when one moment he says, "You may not have a home after this is all over," and immediately after it goes back to saying, "Yeah, I don't want to expel. I'm not going to expel you though."
Because
I'm confused.
My
he
stance
said he has no
is,
intention.
Like, as I was like, look, nigga, I'm not gonna expel you. Understand? I don't have a problem with you. So I think that's like he's making the distinction between what he personally feels and wants, desires, and cares about, versus understanding that at the end of the day, though, if they decide they want to lock your ass up, you're getting locked up. I can't save you from prison. I'm not going to expel you, but if they want to take you to jail, they're taking you to jail.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Because he has that authority within the context of UA, but you see the way Sukauchi was talking. Like, he was like, throw him in a slammer. He's a criminal.
Yeah, this is what I've been talking about. I don't want to get started about that because we already know everybody got their stance on where we lie and where this series goes and how long it lasts and the continuation of it. All I say is them niggas ain't got weight and realism exists. Y'all children, y'all still talking like children. Y'all ain't got no weight like that. You can talk all that big shonen shit. You won't. Guess what? Ayama still in the fucking slammer, nigga. You're talking like you big wig and this, that, and the other. Guess where he at? The slammer. Because y'all niggas don't got no weight. And guess who had to keep it to him real?
Like, and that's because it's like, bro. Also, East, did you read Undead Unluck yet?
Man, oh my God.
Okay, just had to make sure.
Left field, dog. I hear, hey, yo. Like, I was stunned for a couple minutes, boy. I was like, hey, yo, you got me fucked up.
I thought we avoided this a couple, 50 chapters ago. What's going on?
I was like, bro, because I'm like, all right, listen. Andy was talking. I'm like, okay, it's the end of the 4 seasons. We don't got that much left. We probably got 1 or 2 big arcs left, but we know where we should go. We should be, taking on the big man, right? Mm-hmm. Then that shit popped off. I said, who the fuck? What the fuck? I'm like, hey, yo.
Wait a second. You're saying Undead Unluck, you feel like it was getting closer to its climax?
In a sense, because where the arc had just ended, we were doing something we needed to do. And it's like, all right, where does this go? The enemy group and stuff like that. We had kind of made a truce or whatever. So it's just like, all right, You know,
'Cause I
maybe
ain't gonna
got
lie
2
to
years
you.
old. And then like that shit just
Because I ain't gonna lie, that's how I feel. That's kind of how I feel about Sakamoto.
really. I mean, we do got the big bad, but at the last chapter of Sakamoto, which was gas pack, I think we still got a ways to go.
The only way I feel we got a ways to go is if this nigga is literally just here to be like, the gap between me and you is way too large. Come back and find me later. Something like that.
Undead or Sakamoto?
Sakamoto. I don't read Undead.
Okay.
Man, I need to be honest about something real quick.
What?
Duran is ass, bro.
Really?
Duran, like.
No, I know what it is.
Like, I was just trying to read the chapter, and I'm just like, nah, bro, it's too painfully average. Like, maybe it's because they've put out like 6 Exorcist series in the past 3 or 4 years. But damn.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna go ahead and pop back on Blue Exorcist.
But Duran, what? Oh, you're talking about on Jump. I don't know why I thought you were talking about Don.
No, not Don.
Don is different.
Yes. It goes another way because literally Don, I don't read it. I just saw the first chapter. I thought to myself, okay, I'm good. I went through it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The only newish series that I read now at this point is Blue Box. I like Blue Box.
Is Blue Box good?
I love it. I love Blue Box. It's really fun.
Oh yeah, I mean the sales that shit been popping the fuck off, bro. Like shit been booming.
I know our friend Ash does not like it for what they're going for where they're going.
Oh, yo, Aniki, I went back. I went to go check what Duran was because it kind of like I had seen it before and I definitely did. And the reason why I didn't check this out was because it kind of looks like Tanjiro.
Really, you think so?
That guy have the same hair.
I looked at him. He reminded me of Tanjiro, and I didn't peep.
I'm not gonna lie to you. He reminded me more of Kirishima.
I didn't read anything. I just saw how he looked, the sword that he had, and the hairstyle with the little star on the forehead. I just didn't peep. I was like, I'm good.
I ain't gonna hold you. I barely read.
And now I'm hearing that it's mid.
I don't read any new series to be honest. Like Yashimo, I haven't read a single chapter of that bitch.
Y'all know me. After Phantom Stare, I can't do it. They need to have at least 50 before I peep.
Bro,
oh no, that's what I said about Sokka. That's what I said about fucking Blue Box, and Blue Box stuck around. So here I am.
I still didn't forget to hire for that bullshit.
What? For what?
Gassing me up to get back on Phantom Stare. Don't worry, it's all right. Don't believe what they talk about.
I thought it was gonna be all right.
They go be all right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the mangaka for Phantom Stare was fucking somebody's wife or something in this jump because
that's the rumor, and I believe it because you know what? It don't make no fucking sense.
If I think about it, I remember the sales weren't. What was the deal? Was it sales?
No, that's the reason. That's the reason I believe he was fucking somebody's wife because, bro, the sales were really fucking good, but somehow
it was at the bottom of the TOC every week.
Yeah, and it's like Robocode was at the top of the bitch. I'm like, all right, you know what, nigga? Something not adding up, man. Like something really not adding up in this bitch. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, somebody's wife is getting their cheeks clapped.
Bro, maybe.
I was like, bro, because I started reading Phantom Seer, and I was like, oh, this is fun. I like this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then soon after I started reading it, they said, yeah, fuck you.
Basically.
I really liked the that series about Robin. I think the name was Hood. I forgot.
Robin Hood, yeah.
Robin the Hood.
Yeah.
Robin in the Hood.
Robin in the Hood.
Like I said, it was based on Red Hood.
No, the series is called Red Hood. That's what I'm
about. Red Hood. So it was based on all the grim lore and everything. I really loved it. Like I was thinking it was the series is good, and then to cancel it, and the mangaka went in full breaking story at the end of the chapters, like about how stories have to be good and everything. They have to entertain the gods. And that man went on the full page.
Wait, Nero got Axe too? I didn't know that.
Boy, stop playing like you ain't no PG.
No, I didn't. No,
Bro, I seen the tweet, boy. He was like, finally got that wannabe martial arts ass out of here.
I never read a single chapter of that bitch.
Bro, I don't see, bro.
Me too,
I can't
me
believe
too.
EG up here lying to his teeth, man. First, you don't tell me about the school, bro. Now you got a new position as a supreme manager. Now then you don't even tell me this.
Ooh.
Man.
Oh, I know that because I'm just reading the Sakamoto days. This is like brutal. Jesus.
You know, since we on topic of manga in general, since we've been gone,
Who is this nigga?
bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, don't fuck with old people. But since we've been gone, and I'm pretty sure everybody been watching and experiencing new things. So for me, what I wanted to share with you guys, what I've experienced is this. Bunch of God, guys! Oh my God, boy! Let me tell you something, man. Listen, shoot him up! Oh my God, boy! I've watched the guy. I've been reading the guy, and I caught him. I cannot tell you how amazing this ride has been from start to finish. Boy, let me tell you something about Jakisaki, my dark hero, my MC son. Listen, man, shoot him up. That's what I needed, man. Listen, Shonen is good and all. It's nice to be a good person, but we ain't here for that all the time, man. We out here. If niggas need to die, they need to go. We need to get them folks out of paint, and that's why Jakisaki, my MC, man. Let me tell you something, man. Listen, Deaderland. That one of the wildest arts I ever experienced in my life, dog. Let me tell you something. Oh my God. Woo, Pino. Nah, stop, bro. Man, listen, Pino. We talk about No Man Chiharu. Listen, I'm telling y'all, listen.
Young Justice.
Peep Jagan. Shoot him up, dog. That's all I gotta say. Nafisa. Now, moving on to something that was very fucking special to me. Yeah, mic check, because I'm about to yell again.
Young Justice.
Wait, man. Young Justice season 3 was gas. Boy, who told these niggas that HBO started moving like that? Listen, caught me on guard, bro. They was moving with the blow swinging. They took the gloves on season 3, episode 1. Niggas was dying already left and right. It was getting shot up, holes in their bodies. I ain't never seen them like this. They had caught me on guard like, bro, they're not the first 2 seasons of this show I watched. They moving completely different for anything I ever seen. Shout out to Geo Force. Shout out to Breon. Shout out to Halo. Shout out to Forager, Fred Bird. Listen, man, I can't wait to start season 4. Season 3, straight gas, son.
So
you didn't watch season 4 already.
I like season 3. I like season 3 a lot, but I ain't gonna hold you. There's a part of season 3 I hate. I hate it. It's the fucking anti-life equation.
Oh, yo, man, damn.
I don't like that shit. Not because because the anti-life equation threat was awesome. I was like, oh my God, how are they gonna get out of this? And then they resolve it an episode later. I'm like, oh, bullshit. That's kind of mid, not gonna lie. And the way they did it was kind of bullshit. They but they redeemed themselves right afterwards because they did something else really cool. So I mean, yeah. But that right there was
the ending shit with like what happened with Breon and all them. That shit hit me from left field, boy, because like they did the typical thing, and then they double back and was like, fuck all that shit. Yo.
Well, they made it great because they did the Terra formula. The Terra, you know what the Terra formula is, right?
That I'm trying to if you can put the pieces together.
Yeah. They did the Terra formula, and I was like, oh boy, I know how this ends. And they went left field with it. It's like, oh really?
I'm like, oh shit. I thought she was gonna be sunshine and rainbows. Psych, nigga. You thought, boy. Man, listen,
season 4, guys. If you didn't watch it, I watched it already. I watched all the episodes that came out, the first part of it, and I can tell you, the beginning of season 4 is fucking gas. I really love it. I'm a big fan.
Excited because I peeped Magan's new look or whatever. It was nice. So like my review though for season 3 is like, what was amazing about it, the most part was that like I think it was like season 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
I felt as though Nightwing was way on a back burner than I would have liked him to be. Mm-hmm. But it kind of switched the script for season 3. And then they did it with Aqualad, but Aqualad still had enough to be in there. But he already had his shine during season 2, a lot of action for him. So it was like, all right, you flipped it over, but now Aqualad's still in there enough that since he had everything he had in season 2, I can lead it be. And Nightwing, Dick doing his shit all during season 3 was like just fucking great. So I'm like, but the episode when they first went to the ship and it was like, and the Wally shit was happening and Dick had the fever and it was like the flashback and they was playing the old shit. Tears in my eyes, son. Straight fucking gas, son. I was like, bro, y'all know y'all ain't had to fucking do that shit, son. I was in there geeking, man.
The thing is with me and that
Nafisa, I'm telling you, that's true.
season 3 is the season 3. I'd say is the second worst season, which is good because season 4 is amazing. Season 4 and 1 and 4 are still unmatched.
Yes.
I think I put season 3 at the third. Season 1 just pure classic.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I said season 3 is third,
Season,
but I said season 2 was last.
No, I'm tripping. Season 3 is number 2 for me.
Oh yeah, no, it was
no, season 2.
too.
Season 2 is really good. I think I really
I don't like
season 2
that much. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know.
I like season 2, but it's probably the worst season out of the whole show. Like
season 3 was
because season 1 is better than season 2. Season 3 is better than season 2, and season 4 is better than season 2. So that makes season 2 the worst season.
Season 3, I don't know if it's better than season 2.
Oh,
literally.
I mean, for me, the end of season 2 was so gas. Like it was the latter half. Especially the last few episodes where it was bro. When I talk about dupe on top of dupe on top of dupe on top of twist. I was shaking my ass, but I was in that bitch throwing it back.
Season 2 was good, but the problem is the Reach suck. The Reach aren't very good. Aren't really a good antagonist to me.
Okay, I can give you that.
I don't feel for them as antagonists at all. And then there's also the fact that what is it? The shafting of certain characters, like my favorite character, for example, Superboy, annoyed the shit out of me.
Season 3, right?
Season 2.
Season 2.
In season 3, in season 2, the most narrative that Connor got was, "Hey man, my girlfriend left me for another nigga, so I'm trying to move on. I don't care about this."
I mean, that was kind of all Dick had going for him too. I mean, low key.
I like that aspect that you really felt that they were humanized, like they have relationships, stuff like this, and it weighs on their minds. But
see, the thing is,
season 4 about that was fucking great. The season 4. Oh man, damn. Season 4.
Another reason I didn't like I don't like season 2 as much as the other ones, because there's a character in season 2 that I want to strangle. I want to wring his little neck and reach my seat.
Who is that?
Fucking Lagan.
You Earth dweller. You loser, PG.
I hate Lagan. Everybody hates Lagan. He's ass. He's a horrible character. And then you're shafting the Connor. They took the shafting the Connor in a different way, because they have you know how in Dragon Ball with when they want to show a new character, a new villain being strong, they have to have the Vegeta get bitched. Yeah, they do that. They do that to Connor in season 2 a lot.
Nah, Alves, season 4 is over already.
No, he's not. No, it's not.
What? It's not over.
The first part. Yeah, it's the first part. First part is done. I watched it like past week. Oh man, it was alright. I really love the beginning of the first.
Yeah. Don't spoil. Just so you know, he hasn't seen it. Don't spoil it.
Okay. I didn't want to say what I just said. I love the first part of that season. The second part was less for me, but yeah, I like. But yeah.
No. I love all of them, especially the ending. The ending. The first half.
The ending of the last part, like the last. Because there's three arcs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I liked in season 3 was the writing was so good in season 3. The way they had Beast Boy do his thing at first, which looked like it didn't really matter and didn't make much sense, but it was important for what happens later on with the Outsiders and how a roundabout, came all about in full circle later on. Granny good. Like we get the whole acting thing and his influence and how that was actually important. That's why he was on the background in the first part of season 3. Then later in the latter half, he was super important. I was like, you see, that's some smart ass shit right there, cuz.
No, and I'll tell you, smart ass shit is what they're doing with this season. Because there's season ever since season 2, Injustice had one big problem, is that they introduced too many new characters. They don't do anything with them. And until the season after, but they stopped. They fixed that this season.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. The thing that I love what they did in season 2 is how they took Beast Boy and the way that they developed him. I really like that aspect of it, of how they developed Beast Boy, because like the fact that I grew up with Beast Boy with Teen Titans,
Yeah.
I had like a vision of him and they really expand on the character and they use it well in the whole story from season 2 till season 4. Really, I'm a big fan of this character. It's maybe in my top 3 of characters in the story.
Oh, I agree with that. I'm just saying more so about the new characters they introduced. Like they introduced
Yeah.
Cassie. They barely use her. They introduced
Static.
Tim.
They use Static and they barely use my nigga. Why?
No, they used him a
What?
lot. They used him a lot in season 2. Yeah, he's part of the meta teams. Yeah, they used him a lot. He wasn't like people. I'm talking more so about Cassie. They didn't use her that much. They didn't use Tim that much. They used him in like one episode.
Uh-huh.
There's other characters they introduced. Oh yeah, Batgirl. They used her like once.
Yeah, that they did introduce like way too many niggas.
That's what I'm saying. Like in season 2 they do that. In season 3 they do that. In season 4 they don't do that. I think they heard that criticism.
So
Yeah.
okay, so basically, before we, balls crack the whip, we gotta get back to topic, back to form. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cause I heard Turner there stomping his Tim's like, man, these niggas don't shut up. But basically, I mean, shout out to the MVP of season 3. You know what I'm saying?
Who's that?
Jeff, boy, that nigga Blacklight, that boy Jeff had like hell of a character arc from start to finish. Boy, there was only one thing actual issue I had with like season 3 that I can really remember.
What?
Jeff costume, like he just should have had some bracelets or something like on him. That suit like is too damn small, like a grown ass man trying to get to his teenage suit, and it looked like it was kind of too small. That's the only thing. It was like really small, right? It was like nothing like to take a point away or something. It's just something that always felt like weird to me. And I was like, all right, man. That's why I liked it when he wore like the black suit, because when he wore his actual Black Lightning suit, because it was like, why didn't he look like he got his son uniform on?
Nigga.
Like, bro, come on now. If I wore a suit and that shit don't even cover halfway on my forearm, you gonna be roasting my ass. Like, why the fuck that shit look that small?
Hey man,
Nigga,
let him live. Let him live.
sticking out.
He earned it. He earned it, man.
And then listen, what he got at the end of that season, he earned it. Real nigga shit. If you know, you know. But we've been in here for quite a while. I guess it's time to, get back to forming before we wrap this up. I don't know where the boss at. I know Tarnish is kicking his Timbs around, thinking like, man, these niggas need to shut up. But
This movie's 3 hours. Let's go.
one more.
Okay.
Oh,
I bought some food, so I have to get it. So I might come. Okay.
All right, we'll stall around till you get back. Don't worry, we won't be going by the time you get back. You just
Okay,
going
so-
downstairs to get it, or you going all the way out?
Okay.
What
Good.
you going? What you gonna do? Like you going all the way out somewhere to go get it, or you just going downstairs or some shit?
I'm going downstairs. I'm going
Oh,
downstairs.
okay,
I'm going
okay, alright.
downstairs. Because I bought with my neighbors some sushi and they are waiting on me downstairs.
You dog, even okay. All right.
But what is it? I said I was talking about the Batman. It's gonna be 3 hours. Essentially,
Ooh,
Wait, for real?
Matt
It's 2 hours
Reeves,
and
boy.
it's 2 hours and 55 minutes. So it's essentially 3 hours.
Boy, Matt Reeves, that nigga. But I was watching fucking Planet of the Apes trilogy. Gas pack. Finally, I call myself a movie head, a movie buff.
Good shit.
Anyway, yeah, I peep that shit. Yeah, boy, listen, man. When that nigga Caesar be talking, that shit's so fucking. By the third movie, that nigga was speaking. That shit was so raw. They love beating the A's and they get like, enough! That nigga walking over there. Is this not enough for you? I'm like, this nigga's so raw, son. So fucking raw. But you know what? Speaking of which, I know. Well, listen, you ain't seen No Way Home by now. I still ain't gonna spoil that shit for you, so I'm a nice person. But this is what I will say: the direction is going in. Since we getting a whole other trilogy, we definitely finna see Black Cat. I promise you. I bet money on it. I bet 5 right here, right now. My money and my cheeks. We gonna get Black Cat.
I want Ned to be the
What?
next villain, man. I want Ned to be the goblin.
Ned, oh no. They already said he's not gonna come back. He's not coming back.
Nah,
Nah, we don't
He's
need him
not.
back. We don't need
Ned
him back.
Leeds as a villain, that would be
Yeah.
good, man.
No, we good.
No,
We good.
they actually said he's not coming back.
Good.
Thank
We don't need him back. William
Thank
Dafoe, the
God.
only
Wait,
nigga
wait.
that can do that shit.
Oh, wait, who's not coming back?
Ned.
Ned?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
all those like talks about him being the Hobgoblin. No,
No, that's
not
so
happening.
stupid because he's not even the Hobgoblin in the series.
He's not.
framed.
He's not.
He's
Yeah, he was
framed.
framed.
I don't want him as a villain. He sucks.
Bro, let's just go ahead and expand Peter's character from where we got now. We don't have to deal with the old people. Black Cat is coming. I promise you. They're not gonna have no new trilogy without any type of romance whatsoever. Or something. And she brings out
so y'all talk about No Way Home.
See, he already knew, but she
Well, we're
brings
talking
out
about-
she brings out some of the best and the darkest of like Spidey. Like she brings
Wow.
out some of the best in that nigga. The way she
Oh, I
the
was talking about
temptations.
I was talking about how shitty Ned is. That's right.
Hey, listen, don't do Ned like that.
I'm sorry.
Ned is comedy. I listen.
I'm sorry.
I
The
can-
thing is, I like funny niggas, but I like funny niggas when they know when to be funny. That nigga's funny 24/7. That's not good to me.
Yo, see, I told y'all I don't know who BG
That's
really
his
is.
stick. That's
He's
his
the type of
stick.
nigga to bully.
See?
He's the type of nigga to bully people like Ned.
BG knows, and BG already knows my problem with Ned. Because we talked about that shit.
See, honest, he let Annika and BG be bullying Ned in the back of the class. They work
No,
their
my
class.
problem with Ned is that he's basically Genki.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
Okay,
that.
you know
but
what? All right, now my BG on his own bullying Ned.
Even he knew when to fucking shut the fuck up. He wasn't always funny.
Like,
Ned is not. He's not really him or Ned, to be honest. He's neither of these niggas. He got the
Yeah,
Asian
Ned is
aesthetic
funny.
for him and the Lego obsession. And
It's
he's
the-
got the fucking be the fun part.
they took
He's
like
funny,
the
bro.
school setup that like Miles had. They took like his dynamic with Genki. Like, cause like the thing is that in Far From Home, that's like part of why he has the girlfriend. Because remember, like Genki ends up dating the girl who's obsessed with Spider-Man, but has her own YouTube channel and stuff.
Oh, no, that wasn't Far From Home. Not No Way Home.
Yeah, sorry, but like I'm saying, like that's
It was
like,
in both. It was in both.
No, he
That's
wasn't.
what
No, he wasn't dating. He
it's the
wasn't dating. No, he's not dating
It's the same
anybody.
chick.
No, he's not dating.
No.
her.
Point being, he like had an affiliation with the girl who ended up talking about Spider-Man in No Way Home. She was like, "Go get him, Tiger."
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
the
yeah,
same
yeah. No,
girl.
oh, that was lame, by the way.
It was
Yeah,
hella lame.
That was really lame.
yeah. See, Cameron Bailey's like I actually thought it was Genki, and that was my thing. I was like, are they?
Oh, a lot of us did. A lot of us did when we first saw the trailer. And it was like, it's supposed to be dead. Oh, shit. The more you know.
So yeah.
That is my guy. Yo, listen. At the start of the movie, when not big spoiler, but literally at the very beginning, and Peter was yelling at his phone like, "Dude," and that was like, "Dude." That's just funny as hell.
No, like I said, no, that's good comedic timing. The problem is, other than that, you'll see Ned joke. Every line he has is a joke. It's not good. Because that means that means I can't take you seriously.
That makes it hit. That makes it hit when he's not joking. Like at the
But
end,
when is he not joking?
At the end of the movie.
No, he's not.
But you know what I'm saying? For that
I'd
little moment
agree
they
with you
had.
if there were moments of clarity with him, but there isn't. The nigga is literally if I caught this nigga in class.
He ripped up that paper. And he was like, "But I do have to give this to my parents." He's funny all the time. He's funny. I get what you're saying, but I don't mind it. But
Yeah, like to me, for me to take you seriously as a character, I need you to have moments of seriousness. Even fucking this is my hero dream. Fucking Mineta has moments of seriousness. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. So if fucking Mineta can have that, this nigga can have it too, but he don't.
That's not the point. That's not the point of his character, though. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, but like, which just remember that is my overall criticism of Thor Ragnarok, always and forever.
Uh-oh.
Like,
Yo,
hey.
you saw Thor's new design, bro, for Love and Thunder. It's a leak, so you might not have seen it, but I'm not. It's not. I don't like it.
Oh, it's too shiny for you?
BG probably said, yeah. Wait, the color, this is not.
I don't mind the color, but it is shiny though.
Yeah, I'm gonna just type it in on Google.
It'll pop
It is
up.
very shiny. Which some people question, why does he have a new costume? We don't need a new costume. That's what they do for marketing. I don't know how the money was.
But shit, since we speaking about new costumes and shit and like shit like that, you know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker Moon Knight. I seen the costume leak.
Yeah.
I'm kind of pleased, you know what I'm saying? At for a first look.
Some people don't like it because they say it's leaning too much into the mummy shit that they don't actually even do in the comics.
Shit, niggas always gonna say something. In general, I don't give a fuck. That shit is not. It could have been way worse, or it could have been fucking horrendous. It's all right, pretty cool. I mean, I don't got a big moon crest on it, but we don't know that's the first episode. We don't know like where the fuck that's at in the series. Costume can evolve. Look at Daredevil.
He got the white eyes.
That's a bit different. Hold on, East. That's a bit different because Daredevil had his costume made. This is like a mystical fucking costume.
But I'm saying it can still evolve or something like that because we don't know what's the detail. We don't really know shit about Moon Knight. We don't know all the details about what the pilot entails, what goes on, and how they want to do the season, and like if it can evolve. Like we don't know what spinning gonna take on. That's what I'm saying. Like we don't know shit. Niggas don't know shit.
What to do with Mr. Mark Spector. You're correct.
I'm just, and I don't even know that much about Moon Knight, but I'm just saying, like from the comics to looking at his costume, so far I'm pretty pleased because it could have been ugly as shit.
Oh yeah, no. I was gonna say I know about it because I've read his origin, so I know how it is. But so I'm like, it might be like that. We don't know.
Mm-hmm. And in some comic book iterations, Daredevil already got the full blown raw ass costume, but in the Netflix version, he worked his way up to where he got his raw shit.
That's because of the Frank Miller run.
Yeah, but still at the same time, it's like, all right, which adaptation we taking? You know how comic books roll. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why I'm just like, that's why I'm like just looking at it here at face value, like, okay, I'm pleased enough. And we get our first look at a trailer Monday, so we're gonna see what it's about then and there.
I think the leak said it's coming out on March 30th.
I heard it was Monday. Oh, you mean the show altogether? Yeah, the show.
Yeah, the show itself.
Oh, y'all heard about the Lord of the Rings shit coming out September 22nd?
Yeah.
Wait. You said March 30th is coming out?
That's what the leak said. We don't know if it's. I don't know if it's true.
That's my birthday. I got some Moon Knight for my birthday.
Oh shit!
Damn.
That's
my first exposure to Moon Knight was Web of Shadows, Spider-Man, the game. He was terribly implemented.
Of course, because the game's not good. The gameplay's great, but the game's not good.
Cap on that, and I'm so playing.
It's not a good game.
I'm living off nostalgia. Leave me alone, nigga.
Yeah, the story is.
I'm doing what them niggas, other niggas do with that other series, but I ain't gonna name no names. Anyway.
All right. So, what?
Alves. Anybody want to answer Alves' question?
What's Alves' question?
He said, how many stats can give me a strip article? Never mind. That's my text message. Alves said, now I just keep wondering where I should start with the MCU shows. I gotta finish catching up to AOT and Demon Slayer first, though.
Oh, I mean, literally, watch WandaVision. There's a timeline on
WandaVision.
Also, I think Lord of the Rings is having a new show.
Yeah, it's having a new show.
But yeah, no, I was saying if they don't need to ask where you need to start because there's literally a timeline on the Disney Plus app. It'll tell you like literally you don't have to order the shows.
Yeah, it'll tell you all of that. WandaVision is the first one.
Stories, I think all the movies too.
And I answer for Ponzu. You know, Ponzu's not here right now. What he said that Disney asked. He said all that Marvel shit doo. He said the Snyderverse GOAT. Those are words straight from Ponzu because he's not here.
What?
Right. Yo, Ponzu, bro, what's good?
What did you say my name?
Bro, that's what BG had told me, bro. That shit crazy.
Wait, what?
Let me stop playing. I'm fucking lying through my teeth, nigga.
Listen,
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I did be blatantly lying to my boss, and I laugh with that nigga. Cause he know I be lying to that nigga. That shit's so funny.
No, Thor Ragnarok, I didn't like the direction of the Thor Ragnarok because I love that aspect of the first one. The more how can we call it? More Shakespearean one. I was liking that aspect of the story. But it became they tried to do like a Guardian of Galaxy Guardian of Galaxy. And yeah. Man. It is what it is. I like the first Thor. I like the first Thor. I like all the aspect of the first Thor. Really, I was a fan of it when it came out. but Guardians of the Galaxy had to keep its own identity. Right now, they try to take the identity of Guardians of the Galaxy, and put it on Thor.
I
And
don't
that
agree
is-
with that necessarily, but I see what you mean.
So, it's not really. I understand that they can cross each other for sure, but not like making the whole story of Thor being funny. It's not really my thing. That's why I didn't really like that in Endgame with Thor. That man was literally suffering from depression, and they use him as laughing stock. I didn't like it at all. I really Endgame,
They
the
did.
middle of
They
the
did.
middle portion of that movie, I really hated it the most of the time. The beginning was perfect for me. I love the beginning of Endgame, and the end of Endgame was good. But yeah,
Understand?
Infinity War is better in overall for me.
What was it? Understand? I mean, I understand your things about what you may call it Thor, but the problem is the people didn't share that opinion because they were fucking shitting on the other ones. So that's really the only option they had to take, you know? So hey, and it worked, so fuck it. That's how it is. Like if I
It is
even
what
if
it
it's
is.
not-
I don't mind. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah.
It's, the worst for me stays Dark World 2, the second one.
No, it's Thor Dark World you're talking about.
The Dark World, yeah,
Yeah.
Thor.
That shit sucks. So yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, that's the one that I understand. It sucks. Like Ant-Man, the first one, I loved it. Literally, I was laughing my ass on the first Ant-Man. The second one was like, okay. There's some movie in the MCU that I really Captain Marvel. I fell asleep in the movie.
So did Kojima. Shout out to the GOAT.
Hey,
That
That was me
all
during Eternal. That was me during Eternals.
All right, let's chill out now. Come on. Now.
right. I don't know. I try to avoid talking about the MCU just because I find it to be not as good as I wish it could. Like I know it could be, if that makes sense. It's just like I don't want Doom in the MCU ever. I don't want Doctor Doom to be a character in the MCU just because I know that they're not gonna do him as well as they could because the MCU is generally going to try to likely just keep him in the role of villain instead of letting him be like the anti-hero that he is, because
I don't agree with that actually. I don't agree with that.
I don't trust him to do that.
I don't agree with that strictly because of the fact that in characters that are actually supposed to be like main villains, they actually give them a lot of focus. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna just make him a fucking one gun or like a fucking one note ass nigga. They didn't do that with Thanos. They made him different, but they didn't. They gave him focus. They gave him care, and they gave him time. Like
it really comes down to whether they decide that Doom is a Fantastic Four villain or if he's going to be like a character that's going to be recurring. That's what it comes down to.
I think he's going to be both. Like, I think they're probably going to introduce him at some point through the Fantastic Four, but there's already been more talks about him doing Secret Wars.
There are rumors about him having a little role in Black Panther even. So
yeah, I heard about that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he's going to be. They're not going to treat him as a. Oh, by the way, they're not going to treat him like he was in those other two Fantastic Four films because they know his importance, especially because they want to do Secret Wars. So yeah, he'll be in this shit for a bit, right? That's what I'm saying.
I want Ned to be the other Buffin man. I need that.
All right.
He has magic. He has everything to do that right now.
All right.
Make him a villain.
No,
I want to see the pain of Peter Parker's face when he sees that his brother is a villain.
I'm not gonna hold you from what you just said. Now listen, remember everything I just said about Ned earlier. That's the exact reason why that sounds fucking awful.
No, man. Literally, we had the joke. We had the joke in the other movie. In the other movie, we had the joke. I don't want to spoil anything.
No.
So that
joke, Nick, it's been a month. You can talk your shit. It's been a month.
No, don't worry about it. I want to get off it anyway. I want to get off the MCU and transition back to My Hero. At least like wrap up the discussion. Because, obviously we're kind of done with the My Hero talk. So
gonna get too warm.
So let's start going around the horn, do final thoughts, starting with Ponzu.
These two chapters were good because we feel that we are getting like settled like what we were talking about. Aniki was talking about a long time ago. That it feels like you're gonna have we gain a false sense of security right now from the story. Like everything is gonna end. We're gonna do it right, you know. But it's really literally the ingredients for a big catastrophe. So I can't wait to see how Horikoshi will write this and how he will show this to us as a mangaka. So yeah, I will be happy to be here next week. So see you, love you, thanks for coming. Like this stream.
DG.
Well, for one, I didn't before this week. I didn't even read the last chapter before this, but after catching up, I think we're finally starting to move towards this final conference, this like final like battle. Which I mean, might have a little bit. Some people might have mixed feelings about that, but let's give it a shot. Let's see where it goes. I think it was fun.
Let's see, Tarnish.
Great chapter, great chapter. I liked everything. My favorite part was Aizawa, of course, and him talking to Aoyama. The plan looking shaky, but all their plans look shaky, and them telling us the plan just means it's not gonna happen like that. And if it do happen like that, it's just not gonna go smooth as they're saying it. Glad they giving Davi the respect he deserves. That's it.
All right. Say yes.
I really like the chapter. I want to draw attention once more to how All Might really just drew 2 tiny pieces of Shigaraki and 2 tiny pieces for All for One, and then spent the rest of the meeting just drawing flames for Dabi. And I also like the meeting between Aoyama and Aizawa. And I think I especially liked the panel when it was all white out and we just saw them sitting opposite each other, because you could see like a glimpse of not just the side of Aizawa's eye patch, but also a tiny glimpse of his prosthesis, prosthetic. That's what you call it. And it's like I think Bakugo aside, who was of course kidnapped, Aizawa is kind of the person who got pummeled the most by Aoyama's betrayal, and then he lost his leg against Shigaraki. So he basically sits right opposite to all the damage he caused, and I kind of like that. Yeah, so I like the chapter.
Archbishop East.
Hello, everyone. It's that time again to wrap up the series and wrap up church. I hope you have fun. Obviously, good to be back. Another great chapter. I'm happy we getting some actual conversations and shit. Niggas like, let's stop all that old sugarcoat, happy friend bullshit. We getting real deal. Finally getting the plans. Be honest with you, I'm shoot straight. I'm just waiting for these niggas to throw hands at this point. All right, and we just getting all the pieces we need, moving them. This character going here, hero side going here, this, that, and the other, and just ready to get to these hand shit. Whoever said this, keep breaking out the seconds quirk. My bad. We was off topic, but I had kept mentioning to say that too. Like I said, that's another one of the reasons that it's not. I don't see it as Horikoshi's MO or style to just randomly throw out the second quirk and then make or break the battle, and it just be like, all right, all over. Just use a quirk one time, and it helped magically beat Shigaraki. But like I said, I'll stick to my guns. You already know what I got to say about the future of the series and where we go from here. I'm just ready to see hands flying, fisticuffs going, and this, that, and the other, man. Appreciate y'all for coming. I got to come up with a new thumbnail, but we are here for season 3 of the church, and we will keep going strong. And as you know, how the saying go, undefeated of the East, baby. What it do?
Yeah.
And we will catch y'all next week.
All right, y'all. Appreciate everybody that came through next week's chapter. So standard time, standard place. Hopefully as many people who can make it will be there. Appreciate you all for coming through tonight or this morning. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm always tired. Just for real. Appreciate y'all.